spent in a miserable way.
They know it's his party despite tensions with Trump. GOP lawmakers roar with approval for their PRE. First came the Senate's rebuke of President Trump's plan to pull U.S. troops out of Syria and Afghanistan. Then came warnings, but Tuesday night's State of the Union address, with thunderous applause and gushing accolades from Republicans, offered a reminder that, for all their policy differences and frustrations, the GOP is still very much the party of Trump. Republicans erupted in chants of USA, USA. It was typical of how Republicans have responded to Trump throughout his presidency, with reverence and roars despite the surplus of controversies, scandals and fury. Where I have differences with him, he'll tend to talk about them in private, said Senior John Carew added that he and others who have about aspects of Trump's agenda. He once said Trump's call for a massive wall makes absolutely no sense, and instead argued for bolstered fencing in key spots. You are interested in having the president join them on the campaign trail, a testament to the president's sway with the voters whom Carew and others count as their base. Tensions could grow in the coming days as Republicans scramble to avert another politically bruising government shutdown and urge Trump to resist using his emergency powers to bypass Congress and begin building a wall on the Mexican border and in the perilous year ahead. There is no way to know, and even Tuesday night, there was tempered applause from GOP lawmakers when the president spoke of drawing endless wars in the Middle East to a close. Yet the scene in the House chamber demonstrated that the appetite for a dramatic break with Trump over his conduct and policies remains limited for now, with most Republican lawmakers more inclined to nudge the combative president than to confront him, knowing he retains a deep well of support among the party's faithful primary voters and activists. Glancing toward Republicans, Trump assured them that an economic miracle is taking place in the United States, and the only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics or ridiculous partisan investigations, a reference to the Mueller probe and congressional investigations being led by newly empowered House Democrats. Many Republicans stood and applauded Trump at that aside, as if they were assuring him that they, too, would stand by him whatever comes. Standing before Vice President Pence, who is close to the religious conservative community, Trump went on to ask Congress to pass legislation to curb third trimester abortions.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.